The following program is a public service of Gulf Coast State College, WKGC, and Commodore Productions. And now, the Military Hour with Cary Deter.
Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Military Hour. We have a very special guest with us today. We have Matt Duncan, commander of Local Chapter 20-9 Combat Vets Motorcycle Association. Good to see you again, Matt.
Nice to see you.
Or 60 if you prefer. You tell me what you want to be called today.
Either one's fine. I answer to both.
All right, well, we'll call you Matt so it'll be easier for people to pick up on. I got the 60, so.
Yeah, there you go.
You're going to tell us about something going on with not only the organization Combat Vets, and that might be the place to start if you want to talk about the organization first, and then this very important second annual event that's coming up real quick. It's coming up too.
Yeah, 2 days.
So fill us in. Yeah.
Sure. All right. I'm a member of the Combat Vets Motorcycle Association. It was I told you the story before, but it was kind of started as a scam on vets looking to join a brotherhood of motorcycle riders, and it was actually a motorcycle club as it was put out there.
Initially started.
Yeah. So people would pay, and they would actually get a patch. And that was pretty much all it was. So whoever the scammer was, he did come up with our design of the skull and the spade. And after a while, these guys kind of found each other, started talking, and found out that it was really just a in name only type of club.
Right. Yeah.
And at one point, they started off, and then they decided, well, a lot of, if anyone's familiar with the motorcycle environment, motorcycle clubs, ZMCs, have a certain connotation. Protocols and certain rules. So they wanted this to be more open to everybody, and including women, that served in combat. Right. And so they made it an association. So it's, it's not like we prospect or anything like that. We don't consider ourselves 1%ers or anything like that. We're just a group of veterans that have served in combat zones that like to get together, have a good time, ride motorcycles, and along the way help our fellow vets.
That's it. The biggest thing is vets helping vets.
So we were, actually CVMA is in all 50 states, and we actually have 2 chapters overseas. I think one's in Germany and one in Korea now. Huh. I don't think they have a lot of members, but they're over there. And we're divided into regions. A couple states are within certain regions. We have the national board of directors. So once a year, we've got our annual national convention. It'll be in San Diego next year.
That'll be a long ride from here.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to make that one either.
So there's a national event every year, and then what about locally? I know you do a lot of rides.
We have a regional event in October coming up, and then we have a state rally in November coming up. So that's quite a bit going on there. But that's the thing. I mean, we try to get together. Like right now, we've got 12 chapters in the state of Florida. It takes 15 members to start up a chapter. And we've got 12 in the state. The newest one is next door to us in Tallahassee. So, I've provided you guys with our websites as far as the national website and then our own local website. But it's open to anyone that rides a motorcycle. I believe 500 cc's or above, served in the combat zone as proof by your DD 214.
Right.
And that's really it. And just we kind of say of good moral character, but that's pretty ambiguous.
Well, for what most of us veterans do, and I can say it because I have some firsthand knowledge, it really is about veterans helping veterans. And
right.
You guys do a lot of the charity work and make a lot of donations.
Right.
And you step up and you actually walk the walk.
We try.
Not just talk the talk.
And then we try to support the other veterans organizations, the Legion Riders, the AMVET Riders,
sure.
When they have their bike nights and their events and runs. 20-9, like I said, it started about 2 years ago in Panama City when we stood up, and I was one of the founding people that had joined at that time and stood up here. And we have 2 runs a year. We have one during Thunder Beach in the spring, and that one's just basically to kind of pad our coffers a little bit so that throughout the year, if we hear about a vet that needs some assistance,
sure.
Or an organization that we hear of or something like that, we can write a check. And so, we just do that for that. The second run, though, you mentioned is coming up in 2 days. It'll be Saturday. And that is actually, as you can see on your screen there, that's the flyer. This is near and dear to one of our members' hearts. One thing about CVMA is we have road names, or nicknames, if you will. And it's usually military related to some extent of who a person is. This member's name is Squid Vicious.
Okay.
As you can tell, he's Navy. And
Yeah.
I don't hold that against. I'm Army myself. But I don't hold that against him. Yeah, there you go. So he got the name Squid Vicious, and he started this run on his own. It was his idea last year, and so the first one was last year. But the statistic of 22 veterans a day killing themselves because of their service and service-related issues really hits home for him. And so he had started this run last year and donated to and that's the thing, there are several, which is sad. I mean, it's really sad, but there are several organizations that deal with this now to bring awareness, education, any type of support they can come up with. And again, it's sad that we have to have these organizations exist, but unfortunately they do. So we were with another organization last year and donated to them. This year, we found another one. It's called 22 in 22. Mm-hmm. Their website is 22in22.info. So if you want to go to that to learn more of who we're donating the money to. They support an organization called Stop Soldier Suicide Incorporated. And their thing, the 22 in 22, is to try to get groups together and do activities, for 22 days straight or 22 something or other. In our case, we tried as best we could to come up with a 22-mile run, poker run on Saturday. So I was hoping Squid would be here today. Unfortunately, another matter arose, and he couldn't. But he would be able to tell you exactly how much it is, but we'll just round it off to 22.
Yeah, there you go.
So it starts at Harley-Davidson, a PCB, from 11 to 1's registration, as you can see there. Then our first stop was Whiskey's, and then Indian, a PCB. We're equal opportunity motorcyclists, so we'll hit both of them. The Bowie, Buster's Beer and Bait, and then we end up at Newbies, the mothership there on Thomas and Joan, and we'll have raffle items. We'll have bike games, food. There'll be a band. I understand, so it'll be a good time.
Food, you got me at food. Yeah, I like that stuff.
Cold frosty treats kind of what has me, going there all the time. So
raffles, going to be some raffles, probably some good items that have been donated.
I can't say enough about Squid. I mean, he pretty much decides just to do. He said, okay, we're going to do this again this year. And that's why he's called it Squid's second annual 22 poker run. And we let him, he basically says, I really don't need any help until the day of the function. He's went out and talked to all the stops. He's went out and got all the prizes. He's done, I found out last night that we're going to have 2 tickets for Gulf Coast Jam.
Oh, wow.
And VIP parking, courtey of Indian. So he's out there beating the bushes and I guess making a lot of these business owners guilty. Hey, but,
whatever it takes.
He'll be a great father someday. But yeah, we've got, alcohol baskets. I think he's talked to a couple of lodging establishments and gotten some stays, so there's going to be all sorts of prizes that'll be there.
It's good as a past commander of a local organization here. It's good when you have members that step up and just run.
And
let those racehorses run
on his own. That's what he was doing, all his own. So we've given him support when he's needed it. We'll work in the stops on Saturday, but for the most part, he's just
that's off his baby. Squid Vicious.
All Squid Vicious. So and he's even got T-shirts. So if you saw the little backdrop on the flyer, there's a big squid attacking something or other. I don't know.
Yeah.
He had a local tattoo artist come up with that. And that's going to be on a T-shirt that
cool.
we're going to be able to sell, long sleeve and short sleeve. So I've already got my long sleeve marked up. So I'm going to grab one of those.
I'm going to have one of those too. But now there's something down here that a lot of people probably don't know about, and that's biker games.
Oh,
and, I'm too old for those now, but I can still watch. They are a lot of fun. So if you want to tell them a little bit about that, the slow roll I can probably still do.
Yeah,
because I'm
Squid is very good at that. He's won at Harley Bike Nights many times.
Is that right?
Very good at that. The ride
just
the plank
psyched me out.
Yeah, the ride the plank. I believe. Yeah, they just put a big plank out there, and it's only a couple inches wide, and you got to do your best to stay on it and not go off of it.
Yep.
Good luck with that. The weenie bite.
Not doing it.
No, that's basically where it's usually a couple on
Hanging from the string.
It is a couple on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
They roll underneath a hot dog attached by a string, and the woman has to rise up from her back seat position without using her hands and take a bite out of the weenie.
Yep.
I'm not sure what that's supposed to signify.
It's
no idea. So.
Well, you've never eaten a raw hot dog. It's like sausage, you know.
No,
yeah. So that's all that's about.
We'll leave that go.
Right.
But again, this, with all kidding aside, though, it does go to a good cause. Unfortunately, you know, there are a lot of cliches about it. You know, the big one being not all wounds are visible, and you know, by the grace of God, my combat experience is very limited. I didn't see or experience near the things that people going to Iraq and Afghanistan have to come back and deal with. You know, I was in the first Gulf War. That's my experience. I was military police in the Army and mainly guarded prisoners. We have Air Force, Navy. There are some Coast Guard members. As long as you served in a combat zone and can prove that, then you know you're eligible for joining. But that's the thing. I mean, and a lot of the Vets Helping Vets, which is our motto, is really starts within the chapter itself, because we've got people that have seen a lot more than some others. And I mean, just being in the brotherhood, being around, you know, people that kind of understand what you've gone through, and the fact that you like motorcycles, and just that camaraderie, you know, right there is the first step.
Well, and I have to say, as you know, as brothers in arms, CVMA has really treated myself and my wife exemplary, above and beyond. You guys have invited us to ride with you, and we're not members, and we were honored to do that every time.
Well, we like her, and you know, we had to take you with.
She's much more likable than I am. That's true. But no, in all seriousness, because you guys you're genuine, you're real, and we've always enjoyed being around you. It was unfortunate the times that we did have to go and do what's now they call it completing suicide, where we had to do a ride in honor of someone that did complete suicide. And it's just a hard thing to do for everybody.
Yeah.
Not just me, not just you, but and it shouldn't happen. No. We shouldn't have this problem. We have to find a way to eliminate it.
And that's the thing. A few months ago, I went over to Crestview. Didn't know the kid, but I mean, he was, I can't remember this. I think he was Air Force over in Afghanistan. And unfortunately, he thought that the VA was his only source of assistance. And he was not getting, you know, we've all heard the horror stories of the VA. You know, speaking personally, my experiences have been pretty good. But I do know that they are lagging and lacking in certain areas with certain people. But this poor young man, you know, father of a young child, got to that point where, you know, enough was enough for him, and he cashed out. But, you know, come to find out that his only source of hope for him was the VA. Yeah. And I put on Facebook and just asked a bunch of other people, but, you know, there are many other resources out there for vets going through issues besides the VA. You've got the Vet Center over, you know, on 77.
Yeah, Matt Standish over there.
Matt Standish does a great job. You know, Absolutely. I mean, you see him at all the events. He's out there to help. There are, and that's really my first go-to is anyone that need, you know, first of all, I'm here. If you need to talk to me. Sure. Because that's the other thing too. You know, we often ask, you know, how you doing? Oh, fine. Yeah, well, you know, the thing is, if you're not fine, then don't say you are. Right. You know, and don't think you can handle all this on your own. I mean, you didn't deploy by yourself and go in a war zone by yourself. You had, you know, brothers and sisters there to back you up. And we're here to do it again. But the thing is, we're not psychic, you know. You know, if you need help or whatever, I mean, you pick up a phone and, hey, man, I'm not doing so good. Okay, all right, we'll figure it out.
You hit the nail.
But you got to do that. I mean, that's the thing. It's. I can't, I can't stress it enough. I mean, I can't sit there and say, you know, hey, how you doing? And someone says fine. I'm like, well, okay, I'll take them at their word. But I mean, but like I said, that's what starts, you know, within the chapter itself. It's like anybody, you know, knows that they can call me or call anyone else in the chapter, and we'll be there and do whatever we have to do. Absolutely. And and we'll meet other veterans and we'll talk to them, and it's like, if you're interested in joining or you don't ride or whatever, but you want to hang out a little bit, that we're okay with that. We're there, and if it's beyond our, I don't know, training or, a little bit more than what we can handle, that's the thing. We've got resources we can direct them to, and like I said, starting with the vet center.
Exactly right.
But that's the thing. I mean, it's, a lot of people, especially the men, let's be honest, got to John Wayne it out,
Oh yeah.
and then tough it out.
We
I'll
don't
get
need
through
fixing.
this.
We're the fix-it guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case, and there's no weakness in leaning on a brother for help or a sister. There's
absolutely
not at
not.
all. There's nothing.
Took me a long time to learn that one.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people too, because you've been around me and you kind of know a little bit about me. But if I ask you, Matt, how you doing? You say, oh, I'm good, I'm fine. And I go, all right, now tell me the rest of it. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. You might be fine.
But once
tell me what's going on.
Once you know somebody, you can kind of tell.
Yeah, you can pick up.
Pick
Yeah,
up
you
a
can
little
pick
bit.
up on that.
Something's a little off,
And then you summed it up too when you said it's vets helping vets, and that you'll step up and you do that because you got the patch on it right there that says it.
Yeah.
So if you're walking a walk,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you're talking the talk,
You got to talk.
You got it. You got your 6.
Yeah.
So then that's how it is.
But that's again, we're
you
not.
get the call and you go. It's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Got somebody that needs help.
Yeah, exactly. And we I try to reach out to a couple people that I know from on time to time, and I'll hit them up with a text, and it's like you need to get together or something, let me know, and I'm good, and then again you have to take them at their word, but hopefully if they aren't, they can let you know, and all right, let's go get a beer, let's go talk to Matt, let's
Have
go
lunch.
whatever we got to do,
Exactly.
let's or get on our bikes and just ride 20 miles and turn around and come back.
Imagine what magical what wind therapy can do for you.
I was going to say it's called wind therapy for a reason.
Yeah, it is. It's funny that we mentioned that. I'll just briefly mention this. We were talking to yesterday, and I mentioned to you that this guy that was doing work around the house, he's a vet, never got in the VA system, perplexed, didn't know what to do. Boom, got him in yesterday. So he's happy camper. But we were talking about riding the other day, and when we went out to ride, we bumped into people along the way that turned it into a much more better ride than we even thought about. Because now you had camaraderie thrown in with it. And it was a bunch of people from a bunch of posts all over. It's like, wow, what a great time. So they put it together and called it the American Ride, American Unity Ride. Mm-hmm. So it's just people from all different posts and all kinds of stuff. And people that aren't from posts. And it just turned out to be a really fun, good, therapeutic day.
Right.
And everybody stayed sober, so that's a plus. You don't want to be drunk on a motorcycle.
No, you don't.
Don't drink.
Right.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
So, in any event, I'm looking forward to this, and I didn't realize it was this quick until we looked at this.
And unfortunately our schedules just meshed to where we couldn't, get on, get with you any earlier than this. But that's what happened.
I'm going to have to text my wife as soon as we're finished here and go, we're going to do the squid run Saturday.
Yeah.
Hope you didn't have anything planned, because I just changed it. So.
No, and the thing is, we've got, in the Panhandle, we've got a chapter in Pensacola and a chapter Crestview, Fort Walton area. And some of those
they'll
guys
come and support.
Yeah,
sure.
And that's the thing; they're not going to stay all day, because they've got to get head home. But like some of the Pensacola guys are going to be coming over Friday night and spending the night. We'll get together Friday night and we'll do this a little bit. They'll cut out early so they can head back home, and that's fine. I mean, that's the other thing too with the CVMA. We're not a club, so you participate as much or as little as you want. I mean, it's nice to see you at events or rides, but we do have a few people that just want to get the patch and then we never see them again. But for the most part, everybody wants to be a little, part of something good, and that's that's what we are.
Yeah.
And, we try to have a good time, but again, along the way, try to help a vet here or there.
Well, I know I see you guys out at all the various posts, so obviously that you support.
Mm-hmm.
You're out not just supporting vets, you're supporting all the different posts too. So and that's good. So it's good for your organizations, good for their organizations.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Just a terrific thing to do. Everybody working together, that's what matters.
Right.
It's what we did in the military.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Air Force, Army, Marine, Navy, Coastie. I mean, everybody, I never worked with Coasties, but I have great respect for them because they're on point 24/7 all around the world.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. So, yeah. they're doing it.
I worked with a retired Coast Guard guy one time, and he was interesting. So, but
I know one here. His name's Mike. Hey, Mike, if you're watching, cool guy. Funny how a lot of veterans ride motorcycles. He also rides a bike, Harley, and just a good guy. Overall, just a good guy.
Yeah.
Did his time. Retired. I think he had 22 or 3 years in with the Coasties, but on point. I mean,
yeah, well, that's. I mean, like you said, in the military, we had a mission. We got together. We did it.
Yep.
I mean, the mission now for us is basically, get together, have a good time, and don't leave anyone behind.
Yeah,
And that's really it. And it just it like I said, it's sad that we have these organizations to bring awareness to 22 every day. But unfortunately, that's the case. To some, it's the only way people think they can cope. It's just end it, and it's too bad because I mean there's with the right help we can get past that.
You know what? I'm going to do something that I haven't done ever, but that email I just showed you that came in about the Military Order of Purple Heart, that there is a scam being perpetuated. Now, this came out from our Veterans Advocate Center here on 11th Street. This email came out alerting everybody about this. I want to find that so I can, here it is. And it came back through Legion Post 392. And because of my limitations of voice, would you mind reading this? I mean, because this is important.
No, this is important.
Extremely important.
No. The Military Order of the Purple Heart, a congressionally chartered service organization for active duty and combat wounded veterans, is warning about a telephone scam that's being conducted in their name. Unknown individuals have been cold calling people across the United States, often from the number 315-516-2512, and requesting donations for the upcoming presidential election. The callers say they're with the Military Order of the Purple Heart, and then they even mention the group's national commander, Robert Puskar. But the Military Order of the Purple Heart would like to let everyone know they are a political organization. They do not support anybody, and they do not solicit funds to support any candidate for any political party or office. So if anyone calls you saying that they're with the Military or the Purple Heart, requesting donations for a political candidate or politics or anything like that, that's probably a scam. And I'm not sure how much. I'm not sure how much they call just asking for general donations. I don't really think they do that either.
No, they don't.
So they wouldn't be calling you at all. So.
We actually fed them down at 392 week before last. The Sims veterans and the Military Order Purple Heart, and I can assure you they don't seek donations like that.
Right.
They do not ask for anything that is political.
And again,
we're all apolitical
that's
to
the
begin
kind of
with.
world we live in, where people take advantage. Either hey, I'm with this organization to stop 22, and it's all a scam. I mean, it's just people find a way to, unfortunately, game the system and prey on vets and people's feelings and compassion.
Yep. Pulling those heartstrings.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's a shame that goes on, but who was it that said it? Trust and verify. Wasn't that Ronnie Reagan? You just got to do it. You have to look into it because you never know. Yeah. And it's unfortunate. Sometimes even going to help a veteran, you might wind up getting burnt. But you know what? We do it anyway.
We do.
So
Yeah, I'm sure you're referring to our mutual friend who helped somebody out and.
Yeah.
But that's.
It happens.
It happens, but what are you going to do? Say no?
The world is the world, and there's good and there's evil, and they cannot exist one without the other.
Exactly.
If you got one, you're going to have the other.
That's true.
It's kind of a quandary, isn't it?
Whether they're a veteran or wear a badge. I mean, it's unfortunate that but that does happen. But there are, I always like to think there are more good than bad.
There is.
There are more good veterans and cops than there are bad ones.
Amen. That is for sure.
That's what you have to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
So,
otherwise, you wind up going down.
You do. I mean, you can't
defeat yourself.
Just decide an entire group based on the actions of one or two people. I mean, they're the aberration, not the norm. So I mean, keep thinking about the good people out there.
Exactly. Just get the bad apple out of the barrel, and then you got a good barrel.
Exactly.
So, and you're right. It does happen, and it does take everybody But then that one, when that pimple pops up, you got to get rid of it. So, how's that for an analogy?
Thank you.
It was an ugly visual too. Well, you know me. Everybody knows I'm not exactly wrapped too tight.
No.
Thanks for saying that to me, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he still talks to me every now and then, so there you go. But one more time, let's go over those stops.
Sure.
This Saturday, it's Squid Vicious.
Squid Vicious.
Squid's second annual. I love that. It just
But that's this Saturday, the 6th of August. Registration at Harley from 11 to 1. And then we hit Whiskey's, Indian of PCB, the Bowie, Buster's Beer and Bait on Thomas, and then Newbies on Thomas, Ed Joan. And a lot of raffle items, a lot of games and good times, and brotherhood and sisterhood and all that. So that's
and all the money goes back.
All of it's
veterans.
All
and
of it
families.
goes. No, it goes to 22 and 22. This specifically goes to this organization.
Okay.
Which is again Stop Soldier Suicide Inc. Incorporated. But that's the thing too. Log on to 22and22.info is their website, and they've got stories of challenges that people are doing to raise money for that. And it's kind of interesting. Some people are like doing 22 push-ups a day for 22 days, or whatever. I was thinking maybe 22 beers in 22 days.
I was just thinking that
I'd be at home doing it. But no, I'm not. No, but I mean, we're picking one day and we're going to do a 22-mile ride. So I mean, I think that's pretty good. And then the money goes to that. So, but again, if you don't mind, just popping up the combat vets stuff. We've got a national website. We've got our
check the website.
Our local website, which is right there, CVMA Florida 20-9.org. If anyone's interested in joining, talk to one of us or send us an email. There's our website right there, our homepage. Be happy to talk to you and find out if that's.
So all I have to do is hit contact, and they can get in contact with you guys.
Yep.
There you go. And you've got an auxiliary.
Oh
unit?
yeah. Let me explain that a little bit. We've got a couple different things. We've got full members, and those are the people that have served and ride
in
and
theater. Yeah.
The supporter is any military veteran that rides but has not been in a combat zone.
Roger.
So, and we have a few friends of those, that chose that path. An auxiliary is a spouse of a full member.
Right.
So that's what that is.
Male or female.
Oh, and they're the photos. Yes.
Oh my goodness. They're
spray. We get out quite a bit. We get out quite a bit. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But. And that's the thing too. I mean, like I said, we've got a Pensacola and a Crestview chapter and Tallahassee chapter, and we try to get together as much as we can, across the Panhandle, for a little ride here.
Well, like I said, I see you guys out doing good things and supporting all the other posts, and you're doing good work. And the fun, I like the fun stuff too. Well, when you do so much serious stuff, when you do the homeless and you do suicide and sometimes you just need a little bit of fun. Yeah. To help keep your sanity.
To me, that's what it's about. And actually that, I think fun is pretty much how you help every veteran, in the beginning. And then as it progresses, if more help is needed, we'll get to that, but.
And since you're
just come on out and have a couple drinks and ride the bike and
And since you're still a working man,
I am.
You told me.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing lunch tomorrow, so we could make it happen during your lunch hour, and we would be honored if you bought our lunch.
I think I got meetings all day tomorrow.
Oh, geez, how's that happen? Matt, I can't thank you enough, brother.
Thank you.
It's been very enjoyable.
Thanks for having me.
I want to make sure everybody gets out, support the Squid 22. I just love Squid Vicious. I love that. I got to see this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too. And that's the thing too. Again, real quick, if you just want to hit one of the stops and make a donation, you don't have to be on a bike to attend. If you got a car or want to hang out, whatever, please stop by. So.
Be there or be squared, and they used to say that a long time ago. Just be there. That's the real deal.
It's going to be fun.
Exactly. A lot of fun. All right. Until next week, we will see you. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.